Some politicians come and go, but others stay long enough to shape generations. Today, we are talking about Steny Hoyer, one of the longest-serving and most influential leaders in the United States Congress, a man who spent more than 40 years quietly shaping American politics and has now announced his retirement. This is not just the story of one politician. This is the story of an era. Steny Hoyer's full name is Steny Hamilton Hoyer. He is a senior leader of the Democratic Party and one of the longest-serving members of the U.S. House of Representatives in modern American history. He represented Maryland's 5th Congressional District, an area close to Washington, D.C. He was first elected to Congress in 1981 and went on to serve for more than 4 decades. While many politicians become famous through controversy or loud speeches, Steny Hoyer built his career through persistence, organization, and trust. Hoyer was born in 1939 and was exposed to politics and public service early in life. Before entering Congress, he studied political science, worked in local and state government, and served in the Maryland State Senate. These early experiences shaped his political mindset. He believed in institutions, long-term planning, and working within the system rather than chasing popularity. Unlike many modern politicians, he did not rise through viral moments or dramatic headlines. He rose through discipline, loyalty, and consistency. In 1981, Steny Hoyer entered the United States House of Representatives. America at that time was very different. There was no social media, no non-stop political outrage cycle, and far more emphasis on negotiation and compromise. From the beginning, Hoyer understood that real power in Congress comes from relationships and reliability. He focused on learning the rules, supporting leadership, and building alliances across the party. Over time, this approach made him one of the most trusted figures in the Democratic caucus. As the years passed, Hoyer steadily rose through the ranks of the Democratic Party. Eventually, he reached 2 of the most powerful positions in the House of Representatives, House Majority Leader and House Minority Whip. These roles are second only to the Speaker of the House in power and influence. As Majority Leader and Whip, Hoyer was responsible for managing party strategy, keeping lawmakers united, counting votes, and negotiating with Republicans to move legislation forward. His calm and organized approach earned him a reputation as someone who could get things done behind the scenes. For many years, Steny Hoyer worked closely with Nancy Pelosi and James Clyburn. Together, they formed one of the most influential leadership teams in modern Democratic history. Pelosi was the public face and chief strategist, Clyburn was a powerful coalition builder, and Hoyer was the organizer who ensured party discipline and smooth legislative operations. While the public often focused on speeches and debates, Hoyer was working quietly in the background, making sure the House functioned effectively. Although Steny Hoyer was not always the face of major legislation, he played a key role in passing some of the most important laws of recent decades. He was deeply involved in the passage of the Affordable Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare. He also supported disability rights legislation, major federal budget agreements, and long-term government. Although Steny Hoyer was not always the face of major legislation, he played a key role in passing some of the most important laws of recent decades. He was deeply involved in the passage of the Affordable Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare. He also supported disability rights legislation, major federal budget agreements, and long-term government funding plans. Colleagues often described him as a problem solver rather than a showman. While others argued on television, Hoyer counted votes, resolved conflicts, and ensured deadlines were met. One of the main reasons Steny Hoyer lasted so long in American politics was his leadership style. He avoided unnecessary controversy, respected institutional rules, and maintained strong relationships across generations of lawmakers. He rarely attacked opponents publicly and stayed away from extreme rhetoric. In a political environment increasingly driven by attention and outrage, Hoyer focused on endurance and stability. His goal was not to dominate headlines, but to keep the system working. As time passed and a new generation of lawmakers entered Congress, questions began to arise about age and leadership. By the mid-2020s, Steny Hoyer was in his mid-80s. Unlike many politicians who deny the impact of age, Hoyer openly acknowledged reality. He believed leadership should not be about holding power forever, but about knowing when to step aside. In January 2026, Steny Hoyer announced that he would not seek re-election. At 86 years old, he said he wanted to leave while still healthy and capable. He explained that he did not want to remain in office beyond his effectiveness and believed it was time for a new generation to lead. In today's political climate, where many leaders hold on to power for as long as possible, this decision was widely seen as honorable and rare. Hoyer's retirement marks the end of a political generation. It opens an important congressional seat in Maryland and signals a leadership transition within the Democratic Party. It also raises a larger question for American politics: should experience be valued above all else, or is it important to make room for new voices and new ideas? Steny Hoyer may never trend on social media, and he may not be remembered for dramatic speeches or viral moments. But for more than 40 years, he helped shape the laws, structure, and stability of the United States government. His career reminds us that real power is not always loud. Sometimes, it is patient, disciplined, and long-lasting. As he steps away from Congress, Steny Hoyer leaves behind a legacy that defined an era in American politics.